Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Vampire. Alrighty, so we did our thing, we've done our thing, I think we're ready to rock and roll. We have all of our gear in place, we have our bullets, we have our main weapons. I guess I just kind of stick with one. Not sure if I can upgrade any of these yet. Is it here I do it, or? Yeah. So I can't seem to upgrade any others. Okay, yeah, so I'm lacking the parts. Common trigger part. We'll keep an eye out for that, because I wouldn't mind upgrading the gun. We've got an upgraded stake and common machete. Alright, so I think what we're going to do today is we're going to head over and have a look at this main mission. Blackmail in Whitechapel. So we have to get to Whitechapel. We've eaten a couple of people. And Milton Hooks is on the cards, I think. Anyway. Let's proceed. I've done a little bit more work on the graphics side of things, and it should be running a little bit smoother today. And it doesn't look, really doesn't even look that much different. I've just noticed a little bit on the beard, it gets a little bit fuzzy, but you know, I'm not too fussed about that. Alrighty, let's see how we go. Looking forward to getting a bit deeper into the story today. So it doesn't seem like there's really a way we can go here aside from that, or unless we go all the way around. I'm sure we'll be fine. Whoa, grenades. Okay, I didn't realize they had grenades. Okay, so they have grenades. It's like some kind of gas grenade, wasn't it? After playing this and you know, getting to grips a little bit with the the story elements and the choice elements, and how, you know, I'll be honest with you, like, as much as I'm enjoying this, it feels a little bit disjointed between the story and the combat. I kind of touched upon it in the last episode about it feeling like a drop off a cliff, you know, like the story elements feel so smooth and detailed, and the combat just feels a little bit disjointed outside of that. Join the Royal Fleet today. So, you know, obviously they're combined together in this game, but I know there is another game Vampire the Masquerade. It's like a story. It only came out a few months ago, and there's no combat in it. It's all kind of story and choice based, but it's in the vampire world, or not this world, but you know, Vampire the Masquerade world universe. So I'm gonna check that out as well. I wouldn't mind like this game without the combat, you know. Don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying it. Am I in a hideout here? Have I just come into a hideout? Oh, I have too. I'm enjoying this, but it does, you know, I could play this game without the combat for sure. Crafting, alright. Can I... You have enough components to craft a medicine, treatment or serum? Yeah. I would like to craft... can I craft the parts for these or no? I don't think I can I? Recipe unknown, but I have a treatment. Should I craft some of these just to have them? Well, they use a lot. Does it? Yeah, it does. Uses a few. Okay, I don't have the ingredients for that. Clove essence. I have enough for that one. I don't have enough for that one. So I've got, what have I got here? Treatment for anemia, for fatigue, and for a cold, and for a headache. So I'll just keep hold of them then. We don't take them, do we? We don't get any kind of sickness or anything like that. I can break these down. Or I can sell them. I want to, before I break them down, I just want to get an idea of how much they're worth. If I could sleep here. Can't open that. That's the game I was trying to think of yesterday. Vampire the Bloodlines 2, the new one. It's supposed to be coming out, I think, next year. Have any of you ever played the original Bloodlines? Pretty sure I've got it, but I've never played it. Quite like that effect. I think once you get a few powers like that, it starts to feel a little bit more fluid and a bit more natural. You know, you don't really envision vampires using guns and fighting with like swords, do you? But I guess maybe they do against each other. But yeah, I guess when you get a few powers... it starts to feel a little bit more natural. Okay, we're nearly there now. I could probably just leave those guys, right? Nah. Hello, boys.
Did you hear me? Leech spire! Watch out!
Okay. Alright. I think I'm going to take it back. It's starting to feel pretty good. With those powers combined like that, you know, it's starting to feel a lot more smooth. Yeah, that felt good. Having those like combo links, the chains in between them, you know. Oh shit, no way, not another one of those things. I mean, it's probably good X. Do we get XP from fighting? I hadn't really noticed. Let's find out, shall we? So we're at 205 XP. Yeah, we didn't get any Oh, we got 5 XP. So clearly we're living in a world. I mean, obviously we recognize this werewolf. You know, from the battle that we had. I thought it was kind of a unique boss. But I guess there are more of them around. Common trigger part, alright. That's what we need to upgrade our gun, but I think we need 3 of them. Oh shit. To the citizens of London, curfew. Official health warning. Curfew will be sounded at 9 PM by the church bells. All citizens must keep off the streets from that time until 5 AM. Until further notice, a citywide curfew had been implemented. It is imperative that you wear your mask to prevent the spread of infection. If any member of your household becomes ill, inform the authorities immediately. Due to the curfew, not opened after 9 PM. Oh, I see. So I just had a little bit of a look up. What I was trying to think of is Vampire the Masquerade's Swan Song. It's only available on Epic Games at the moment. But from what I understand, it's more of a story-based experience. Let's ignore them for now. Just carry on. Oh wait, I have to go this way. Okay, let's not ignore them then. And there are loads of Vampire the Masquerade games, aren't there? I didn't realise there were that many. I think the universe is public domain, isn't it? Shit. Okay. I don't want to comment too much in a way where it feels like a negative sort of like complaining, but and I'm not complaining, but what I'm noticing is I feel like there could be a little bit more of a fluid kind of movement system. Like, to be able to now just use my powers in any way, like to be able to jump up there, you know, jump up that wall, hop up there, freely of my own choice, as opposed to waiting for these prompts. And in the combat, it's like there's a few, I don't know what the technical term for it is, but when you do a strike or an attack, there's a few moments there where your buttons don't register. It's like a commitment to an attack, you know, where it feels like I want to have a little bit more kind of control over my character in those moments.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Like a bit more freedom of control is what I'm trying to say. It feels like it's at about 70% of where it could be. You know, to have that kind of like, I don't really know what keeps popping into my head is Assassin's Creed in terms of the fluidity of the combat and the control of your character in those combat moments. I don't want to keep sort of commenting on it, but I think that's basically what I'm getting at. I probably won't bring it up again now. I brought it up. I've brought it up enough times. See, like I wanted... Oh, here we go. Okay, so I could jump up there. I saw that. Can I talk to you?
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Is he drunk?
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy he just failed me last nerve.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
You don't seem well, Benjamin. Do you need any help?
I always feel ill, sir. It's like I'm never right.
He's got a migraine.
I will see you later.
I can't craft them on me right now, can I? I have to go to a workbench.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's just a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Where's he going? I wanted to go and craft him a cure. You think he'll just hover around here? Yeah, I guess so. Is this my hideout? Yes. And that's back outside. Just want to see, are these symbols the same? So that's got a circle around it. That doesn't. Okay, so it doesn't go outside then. Oh shit. Don't really... Fuck it, let's do it. Fuck. Wow, man. It's just those moments again, you know. I'm hitting buttons and there's no response, so there's a bit of timing to it that I'm not sort of getting. Okay, so we just respawn here, okay. Wow. Man. He's just not dodging. He's just not dodging when I want him to. Blood as addiction, new collectible. Vampires drink blood. This may be their most specific trait, the sinister peculiarity of their condition, if I may say so. But for me, this is not the most important characteristic of their diet. What has always fascinated me since I started to study them is the imperative need for blood they seem to endure. They want it more than anything, and this desire can drive them to expose themselves, and when they drink it, they seem to feel some sort of short trance, an ecstatic epiphany, said to me once a Volkod I interviewed in Moscow. I'm convinced that this is an essential element to understand the nature and condition of the vampires. They don't drink blood because it sustains them, but that it offers them ecstasy. Vampires are addicted to blood, all of them. It is part of their nature, and those among the immortals who refuse to submit to their appetite by the strength of their will only are never freed from their addiction. From Unveiling the Night by Usher Talltree, primate of St. Paul. I look forward to reading about these ones here. Okay, let's go and make this serum. Does this lead outside? Yes. That's the thing, isn't it? Yep, alright. He had a migraine, didn't he? Oh, we don't... Headache? Migraine? I mean, I guess that's the same, isn't it? But it does have a different... Oh no, we don't know the recipe for that. Okay. Alrighty, well, I think I want to make these. Make one of these. So I'm missing codeine, potassium permanganate, clove essence, and sodium hypochlorite. Codeine, potassium permanganate. Sodium hypochlorite. Let's just break those down as well. Ferrous tartrate, we've got lots of that. So I can make one of these now. Oh no, I can only make this one. So we're a little bit low on codeine and a little bit low on potassium permanganate for that one. So we've got one of each. Almost. And maybe one of these too. Yeah, they're quite cheap. Didn't realise they were so cheap. Cool. So that reduces our... Regenerates 60 blood points. Okay, so that's basically for use during combat. Let's head back out into the world. Okay, I just want to look something up. Give me a second. Alrighty, so I got a little bit of information that I had been wondering about. There doesn't seem to be any consequence for our character for not feeding. In terms of there's no health-related effects or strength-related effects. In terms of like a real vampire, you know, if you don't feed, you become weak. So that's not in the game. But it's tied up with how the world around you unfolds and evolves, and the state of the circumstances as to how the game progresses. You know, by not feeding on people, you have more more options in the world, more hints, more paths to explore, more characters to explore in the world. I think, you know, especially if you're healing people as well, stays in a kind of uplifted state. You could say. So that's kind of what I've been wondering: is there any consequences for the character ourself? Which, from what I understand, you basically just don't get as much XP, which is fine. I've been wondering whether or not we have to feed. And it's been confirmed that our character's appearance does change the more we feed.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
He's got bronchitis. Right.
There's nobody here.
House is empty. So where's he gone? Oh.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
Darius is the right arm of Dorothy Crane. He's a smart guy, this guy, isn't he? So this is our... Because he's got... Oh, I see. Because he's got bronchitis, he's got a 40% loss of blood quality. So we can heal him. Pretty sure we have a solution for that. We do.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Let's go and have a little chat with this woman across the road here before we head on in that direction.
Even the flu is no match for the Swanborough cordial.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir.
Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
I'd
So
like
she's
to
a
see
trader.
what kind of medicine you're selling.
Forget which one it was we needed. This item can be recycled into components. Well, let's buy one. We'll have a look at it. And I don't think we have much of that, do we? We can sell this. So I think this stuff is really just valuables. There really is nothing to it. Yeah, we are in the junk tab, so sell it all, I guess. Oh, that could have been recycled though. So can that one. I'll just sell it. Okay, so she's actually... Oh, so they resell the items that we sold to them. Okay, let's just have a look. What we were missing. Oh, maybe I can't see it in this menu anywhere. Bugger. So what do we not have a lot of? So we don't have a lot of sodium hypochloride, potassium permanganate. I can do something with these too, can't I? Can be used to create blood serums for vampires, okay. Clove essence, salicin, quinine. I mean, it's probably worth buying a couple
Good
things
evening,
off
my
her.
dear colleague.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you...
They're not too expensive, so I don't think we have any of these. An opium. We've got plenty of those, I think. Be good if we could see how much we had when buying. Alright, let's talk to her a bit.
Goody.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
You look ill, Miss Swanborough. I wonder if your concoction will do the trick.
I'm perfectly fine, thanks to my miraculous elixir. You, on the other hand, look pale and tired, Doctor.
Alright, I think that's all we can do for now.
Goodbye, Miss Swanborough. Perhaps we'll talk again.
Let's go and have a little look at the crafting and just see if there's anything else we can make. With these items in our inventory here, can I do anything with that? This formula written on a piece of paper seems complex and needs to be analysed, so I think I'm missing that, aren't I? Do I do that in here? Or do I have to do that in the hospital? Is this a new hideout? It's not, is it? That stuff respawns. Okay. Aluminium shard, gunpowder, glass vial. Glass vial, okay. So I can make one of these now. Treatment, oh no. Okay, I still can't make one of these. Codeine and potassium permanganate. So I need 1 codeine, 2 potassium. I can go and get that from her. Use it to cure 6 citizen. We don't know the recipe though. So how do I research? Maybe it was at the hospital I have to do that. Okay, we'll go back and get 1 codeine and 2 potassium, and then we'll move on with the main quest. Where's the door gone? Go this way. The blood of citizens is the fastest way to evolve. So yeah, I've got that cordial now as well, so I can break that down somehow. Wherever it is. Not that one? Yeah, this one. Oh, so I could have broken that down in there.
As long as you have the money.
Good evening.
I'd like to see what...
2 potassium and 1 codeine. Alright, so that lets us make that final solution. Find Richard Nethercott, find Clayton Darby.
I don't have your money. Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind. Can't you just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right?
It's not my call, Barrett. You pay one way or another.
Please, Joe. How long have we known each other? We even used to be neighbours, for Christ's sake.
I'd prefer not to give you another beating, Barrett.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Right then. Sure.
Okay. So we needed them, didn't we? So he's got a few things as well.
Fancy?
You never look. As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
New investigation.
How is business around here?
Business? I had no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
Oh, really? Joe's extortions put Barrett Lewis in a tough financial situation. He's level 3. So this represents a sickness. Cool. All right, that's good to know. That little kind of germ symbol there, that makes sense. He's got really low XP, but we could level him up a bit. So I guess if we cure them, it improves the health status of the environment anyway. What's he got? Darius Petrescu's got bronchitis and migraine. We don't have the treatment for migraine. And we haven't been wherever this is yet. So is that it for him, is it? Kind of.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse, then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Yes, she's a nurse, and quite a good one. What did she do to gain such notoriety?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Dorothy gives away drugs and medicine for free. I mean, that's not a bad that's not a bad quality, is it? I guess he's looking at it as a merchant. Okay, I think that's it now. Guess so.
Do you need help, sir?
I only need you to purchase something from my shop, sir.
Okay.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
I know it's hard to believe, but this district has always been wretched. I'll let you go now, sir. Quality.
Alrighty. Just a little bit of work on the graphics again, because I was noticing that flashing in the eyes. Sort of white flashing, so that should be gone now. Alright, where are we now? Alright, so we're looking... Is this a hideout, is it, or... Let's have a look. Oh, it's
Nobody at home.
Not a hideout. So we'll carry on with the main quest now. Just want to have a little look around. Find Clayton in the area.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
I have had enough for tonight.
So we'll get back to him.
You look so pale, my lord. Would you like me to revive you?
To what?
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
Oh,
I'm
I
not
see.
looking for what you're selling. But I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick. Though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Do you need any assistance, Miss Popper?
It depends on the price of your medicine.
She's got fatigue.
I am shocked that you would think I am that sort of man.
Forgive my suspicion. I'm so used to liars with good manners. Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
So like I say, we'll get back to those people. I just want to try and make a little bit of progress now with the main quest. Clayton Darby is supposedly in this area. Who's this?
Good evening, Christina.
Oh.
Change your...
Goodbye, miss.
Ah, so
Take
they move
care of
around.
yourself as best you can.
Not to give you another beating, Baron.
Okay, we've got more enemies down there. It's interesting that none of the characters talk about vampires. Like, it seems that maybe, you know, those Priwen, is that what they're called, the Priwen? I mean, they haven't mentioned the word vampire yet.
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm a Harry, by the way. Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
Don't think we're in the right place here. as I was saying, the you know, the enemies, maybe they don't know we're vampires. Maybe they think we're some of the other Skull. Because, you know, nobody kind of talks about it, do they? Nobody mentions it. They just mention kind of crazy people out on the streets.
It's locked.
The Skull, I'm imagining. Well, the Priwen do seem to know about us. Anyway, just a question I've got. Like I said, are people aware that there are vampires and things roaming around? Maybe the general population isn't. Right, let's talk to this boy. This is not really where I want to be, but...
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her. She came here to examine me when I was very sick. She said I should go out more.
Do you need any medical help, young man?
Yes, I do. I feel so tired.
Fatigue.
I don't know if it's the epidemic, but everything seems so hard.
Balls. We just gave our fatigue, our treatment away, didn't we?
I will see you.
Okay, I'm going to come back to him because
Goodbye, young man.
We'll come back here to give him a
Take
treatment.
care of yourself.
I really wanted to try and make a little bit of progress with the main quest before the end of the episode. Don't suppose we can get inside this church. Oh, here we go.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Do you need assistance?
That would be nice of you, Doctor. Who knows what I may have caught during my investigation.
He's got fatigue as well, so we need to craft a few of them if we can.
I will see you later. What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
Clayton wants newspapers to print the truth about Whitechapel's situation. Christina Popper. It's the lady we just spoke to on the streets, right? Is it? Recovering details.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
If no one stops it, this epidemic could turn into a scourge. It may kill more people than the war itself.
Yes, this is another kind of war, but just as deadly. History will judge us all for what we did and what we did not.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
Yeah, there's definitely something else going on.
I'm convinced there is more at work here than a simple epidemic.
Really? To be honest, I could say the same. Some of the sick I saw or heard of. My God, what happened to them?
So that's it for his main, his private stuff.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
It's confidential. Speaking as a doctor, I'm sure you understand.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nithercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nithercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
I keep checking those.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Because a couple times after the conversation we've had, more options have popped up. Behind the church, eh? I do like the atmosphere, like the world we're in. It feels restricted, but in the right way. Like it feels, you know, claustrophobic a bit, but also kind of still open. You know, there's still, you feel like there's a grand kind of environment for you to explore. Okay, we won't. A small flower bouquet with a voucher for a free medical checkup hidden between the flowers. Interesting. Camellia. Secretly distributes medical vouchers for Dorothy Crane's dispensary. Let's just say hello to her.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
She's mute.
I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly. You don't seem to need my medical attention for now. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. Very well. Goodbye then.
Find the mailbox. So we don't seem to be able to get behind the church just yet. Find the mailbox. Here we go. My dearest, most beloved children, I am so sorry you have not heard from me for a few months. The situation in London has been difficult. I know it may sound selfish and silly when you, my children, are still living in a country consumed by war, but there is also a war going on here in England. A war against poverty and against injustice. This is a war I intend to fight despite my advanced years. This is why I am writing to you today. I won't be coming back to Romania. That probably means I won't see you again before I die. Don't be sad, my darlings. You are grown up now, and you have children of your own. You know the sacrifice we sometimes must accept to make the world a better place. This is one I must make now, to feel useful one more time. I wish you a long and happy life. Kiss my grandchildren for me, and remember that your father loves you all the way from this cold, damp country. I am as ever your loving father, Darius Petrescu.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
So we still need to find Richard Nithercott behind the church. Maybe we have to go around the other way. Can't get in there. Let's run around the other way. Can I get around here? No. This isn't going to lead there though, is it? This is going up along a different path. Let's try this way.
The wars of men should not be your main concern.
Here we go. Quarantine, keep out of this area by order of Board of Health. Health Officer.
Morbidity can breathe its own beauty and grace. Whitechapel is not just disease, desertion, and despair.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest, although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town. My words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nithercott, at your service.
Tell me, Mr. Nithercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Do you need medical attention, sir?
It may be wise to let you prescribe me something. I don't feel like I should.
I understand your appetite for words and macabre beauty, sir. But you should be more careful.
The nutrition of my mind is more important than my physical health. But I appreciate your concern, sir.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott.
The place is not...
Oh, I thought I'd already read that bit.
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles, and the added hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox. The stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much, and that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
All right. Wow. She's high level. She's high quality. Okay, so we've unlocked a lot of people here. Fatigue, migraine, bronchitis. Oh yeah, we'll heal him when we can. We've healed him. He's recovering.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives, how she survives, whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious Camellia.
Are you not curious? Is there not more you wish to know?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of most, if not all.
I fear you are a hopeless romantic, Mr. Nethercott.
Guilty as charged, Dr. Reed.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you, for a start, my dear doctor.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Oh, he's fully unlocked. Very good. He's only level 2 as well. We just need to help heal him, and it should get him up to about 2000 XP.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
Alrighty, I think we're pretty much done here then.
I'll leave you alone, sir. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in. Hello again, miss. Tell me about...
Yeah, I just wanted to see if there's any other features. I don't think there is. Never mind. She's healthy. Whoa. 5,000 XP.
Goodbye then.
I think that's the biggest we've seen yet. Alright, so we'll get over here. And that's going to be the end of the episode. Here we go. Now, I think if I quit now, it's going to take us to the nearest safe house, which is fine. So yeah, I don't really have much to say at this point, other than I am keen to continue on and find out more. It's quite enjoyable. I don't know if I've ever. It's reminding me of like a game I tried to play a long time ago, Star Wars Knights of the... What is it? KOTOR. Knights of the Old Republic, like the RPG kind of story. You know, you go around, you're exploring a world and you're talking to a lot of different characters and making connections in various ways. That game is absolutely massive. And we may play that as well at some point on the channel, but I didn't play it for very long. So it's definitely an interesting change of pace, and I'm keen to carry on with it, and I wanna know what's going on here. I'm definitely becoming invested, and I'm also curious just to see how the game implements the vampire stuff, because it's like I feel like we're in two different worlds, I'm in, or maybe three different worlds, but I'm in this kind of world. I feel like a detective exploring these people and their characters, and their nature, which could very easily be a game in and of itself. And then we've got the vampire element too tied in, which is always kind of hovering around in the back of my head, like I'm weighing up these people and how they could contribute to my XP pool if I eat them, which feels odd. And then, you know, like, I think the only kind of, I won't go into it too much, I really don't like to be negative in life. And I do feel like sometimes when I critique certain points of the game, it's very easy for me to kind of step into that role of negativity. But at the same time, I also want to express how I feel about the game while I'm creating these videos. And I do think the kind of the combat, it's a little bit, as I've already said, it's a little bit disjointed, and it could have been, you know, with that kind of perfected, just a little bit more refinement and fluidity and control of the character. It would be knocking my socks off this game, like in 100% kind of capacity. But it's knocking my socks off with regards to the depth of the world and the investigation of the world and the characters. Just, they're beautiful, you know. And I don't even really know yet. We haven't even seen what's going to happen as these what do they call them, these zones descend into chaos. We haven't even touched upon that yet. We're really, I guess, just getting started. But I'm definitely having a good time with the game. I've also decided, I think, from playing this game, that I might start doing reviews of games after I finish them for the week. Did it just do that by itself? Creepy. I feel like I could review some games, you know, like after playing them for a whole week. Maybe the ones that I finish, I'll create a kind of end of the week review, gameplay review, which could be fun. Something else just a little bit different for the channel, and you know, kind of, I don't know, it's something else to experiment with. But I've only just really started to feel that off of this game because of these kind of critiques that are coming up for me. But again, you know, I just want to say it doesn't really detract from the experience. It's just that element that could have been really beautifully refined, and this, to me, this would be like a 10 out of 10 experience if that was the case. Anyway, I don't really want to go into it too much because I really do feel like I'm being kind of negative when I say that stuff, but sometimes it's got to be said. I'm just expressing my thoughts. Alright guys, thank you for joining me for this episode of Vampire. We will be back a little bit later on with another episode, and I hope you'll join me for this very, very intriguing and interesting narrative experience. Goodbye for now.